catch as much as possible of you know, what I consider to be worth studying and what life is about and living life. And where better to get it than on the main streets or the main streets of any big city you will find where contemporary life is at its fullest and most active. And the painting I did in Regent Street, just off Piccadilly Circus, is London at its peak of activity in the middle of the day. Well, this was, to me, was a painting which was going to sort of try and catch the atmosphere of a busy London street, and to do so I set my easel up out in the middle of the street on a traffic island. No, I mean, I think if you're going to do something, you got to get in there to find out what's going on. So, I mean, to actually do it, you have to go out into it. And it's like action art, you know. There was a number of things which were difficult in the painting. One was that the wind was fairly high because the buses passing by would get a swirl around. The other thing was that the traffic was flowing past me, so there was no object was there sufficiently long enough to try and make it totally identifiable. So all you could do was interpret it and try and catch a mood of it. Going out and doing a painting like that, I asked myself a lot of questions. Is there a better system? Is there something better? Can we devise a society which is not as stressful on our environment as we actually have? So there are lots of things as an onlooker you can go through your head when you're doing such a work. I feel that nature is the sustenance of man, that is the actual spirit of which we all really live, and that to a certain extent we have removed ourselves a little bit from it. And I feel that going into a earthy type environment, that it recharges my batteries and allows me to take on the more garish aspects of life. Being a painter is not the easiest of lives. It's costly in terms of financial restraint as well as personal and family restraint. Life of an artist is about progressing with their work, and it starts at an early age and develops throughout their career. Yeah, most people think that painting is a sort of a joyous activity, that it's, you know, that it's something that you relax doing, and that it's easy to do in the sense of it's a nice, inverted commas, it's a nice occupation. It's a lovely occupation to be a painter, you know. I mean, think about it, you just have to sit out there and paint away. In fact, it's the most stressful occupation you could possibly have. Every time you start, the possible achievement is you're doomed to failure. I mean, if you know every time you start there's a possibility that it's a failure, you're absolutely on your tenterhooks the whole time, and so you're at full achievement level the entire time. The artistic process never lies still. For me, the fact that I travel so much helps that process. It gives me a greater perspective, gives me a greater vision to create new work and to elaborate on my existing work and to develop along new trends. After a period of time, a new sequence of paintings will come forward. They may be colourful and colourist in nature, but they will also develop into maybe impressionistic, surrealistic, and even semi-abstract. I came across, in a back street in Rome, I came across a window which displayed the dismembered heads and bodies of ceramic dolls. It was a restoration shop for ceramics, and they had decided that to decorate their window they would do it in a type of surrealistic manner by putting the discarded dolls or the to-be restored dolls in the window. I found it a very, very stimulating composition. The actual subject matter reminded me so much of human behaviour, of the negative part of human behaviour, of how we can actually treat each other. What started off as a very, very basic study painting series of the composition of the ceramics in the window ended up developing into a series of paintings which had a graver significance, and I gave them the title Ship of Fools. never achieve anything in the art world unless you work at it. It's one of the things. All good artists work hard. And any real true artist will create a lot of work and will have worked consistently. You cannot produce half a dozen paintings a year and, you know, call yourself active. You're not. You're inactive. Either you get up and you do it, or don't. Really, you don't. You cannot sit and wait for life to arrive. You have to go out and take life by the horns. That's what it's all about. You actually have to go and do. If you're going to succeed in anything, you have to do it. Don't talk about it. Don't look at it. Do it.